going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Bencoolen with us, and he can say his name and what he does in the band.
Yeah, my name's Paul, and I play guitar, keys, and I sing.
Awesome, Paul. So the first question, yeah, I'm sure if you've done interviews, you are familiar with the whole regimen. But like, how did you start out, Bencoolen? I guess how did you guys all form and collectively come together?
Yeah, me and the other guitarist, his name's Teddy, we're the original members. We've had a
Okay.
few different iterations since 2014, but me and him have been in it, and the other three guys, we got Ben, Jack, and Will. They all joined in the past couple. So we've been running this lineup for a couple years now.
Okay.
And that's when we really started hitting the road a lot and recording more, getting in the studio. So I kind of see this lineup as the
The real lineup.
the real lineup of Bencoolen. Although I love all our former members as well.
There we go. And I guess how did you? I guess how did you get the new members? Obviously, you and Teddy are the originals. So like, how did you wind up finding like the other members that complete Ben Coolin, like the current lineup
Mhm.
now?
So we started out. We were all in college, so while we were still in college, when we replaced a member, it was kind of the pool of our friends and friends of friends in that community. We were in DC. We all went to GW.
Okay.
So it would be friends of friends, or like a friend our drummer. He was actually a friend of the old drummer, so that worked out really easily. But then after we were getting closer to real life and all that,
Yeah.
and our bassist had to move to Nashville. So our bassist Ben, he joined. We met him playing at a battle of the bands,
Oh, nice. Okay.
and he was like super nice. It was We didn't know anyone there, so he was like very nice to us. And so when we needed a bassist, that was the first person I thought of. So
There we go. Awesome.
yeah.
And I mean, I feel like this is a very like cheesy question to ask, but I guess where did you get the name Ben Coolin from? I imagine people ask you this all the time, but this is just to get the internet question
Mhm.
out of the books.
Well, yeah, most people think it's someone's name. Our bassist, his name is Ben, actually.
Yes,
So,
so
if
that's what I
if
insinuated.
I don't feel like explaining something, I'll just say that's Ben Coolin. But actually, I grew up for a bit in Singapore, and
Oh, nice.
Ben Coolin is kind of like a localization of an Indonesian word, I think, and it's an island, and a lot of places named after it, and uh, a street, a mall, a building, all different places in Singapore named after Ben Coolin. So yeah, it was Ben Coolin Street. I was in high school there. We would hang out. There was actually a music store down there that I got a few of my first instruments.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So a bit extra meaning there.
There we go. Well, that's really neat because I mean, some band names like are a little bit more straightforward. You like know what they are, but when I saw like Ben Coolin, I was like, it's either somebody's name or it has to have some like unique backstory. So either way, I think the cat's out of the bag, and hopefully people can watch this video and now know what the band name is. So there we go. Help you out a little bit. But the next question is, what are some favorite venues you guys like to play at or catch a shot in your free time?
Yeah, so in DC we have some really fantastic venues from small to large, and we've played, 930 Club is one of the premier venues, and we've played a few shows there, and that's fantastic. Great sound. We've always tried to get the recordings, and it's always great to listen back to. But even smaller venues, there's a place called Gypsy Sally's that
Okay.
unfortunately is closing in about a month. But for the past 6 7 years, they've been a real staple of live scene down in DC. And a few new places. DC is always developing new neighborhoods and stuff, and a couple venues open right next door to each other. Actually,
Oh, nice.
930 Club opened their big venue called the Anthem. That's like a stadium, pretty much. But there are two small places. One's called Union Stage, and one's called Pearl Street Warehouse. We played many shows already. They've only been open 2 years, and we've played, New Year's Eve at Union Stage. It was fantastic. We've had a few sold out shows at Pearl Street Warehouse,
Nice.
and we've seen plenty of great shows at all those venues as well. Uh, yeah, I could name dozens. Really, just love seeing shows at a place with good sound, good lights, and good atmosphere.
I always
And
like asking it because it's like if I ever go, I mean, DC is not that far away. I live in Jersey, so we
oh
are
yeah,
within a couple hours of each other. So I know that inevitably I will go see some shows in DC.
I
So,
think my favorite, since you're in Jersey, pretty close to you, my favorite place we played, and I also saw a New Year's show here a couple years ago, Brooklyn Bowl. That's
ooh,
fantastic.
yeah, that is. You are right. That is a great spot. So, shouts to Brooklyn Bowl. But
Yeah, they had a whole basket of balloons tied to the ceiling, and they released them all. That was a great, right at midnight. That was great.
there we go. Awesome. Next question, Paul. To kind of follow up the venues, what was the last show that you attended that you didn't play? You say you go to a lot of shows, so I'm curious who you went to go see last.
Oh God, you know what? The last show I saw actually was in your neck of the woods. I was at this See Here Now festival.
Oh, nice. Yes, in
Um,
Asbury Park.
yes, so a few standouts. So yeah, that's too long ago. That was in September. Um,
It's close
I-
enough. I mean, you
yeah,
can't be going to shows every week. That would hurt your bank account, I feel.
true, true. There are a few shows I regret missing around Halloween time, but yeah, that festival. I saw St. Paul and the Broken Bones was
Nice.
unbelievable.
Okay.
Marcus King saw it, and really early in the day saw this band Black Pumas. They're blowing up, but they were fantastic. So that
And
was
then,
that was
did you
really.
see like the headlining acts? I think this year was. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was. Why do I want to say the Lumineers? I feel like they
Mhm.
were somewhere in there, and then Incubus was one of them. I know
Uh,
I'm really. I
it
know
was Dave
one
Matthews.
years they did do it, but I'm not sure if it was this year or not.
It was Dave Matthews.
Dave Matthews. Okay, I should have known that. My coworker actually went to that. Shouts to Mike. Um, but that's awesome. That sounds like a great time. Did you? I haven't been personally, but I. That's just because like there weren't enough bands for me that I was
Mhm.
personally interested in. But did you enjoy like the atmosphere of See Here? Have you been to it before? Or was that your first year?
I hadn't. That was the first time.
Okay,
I've been to a lot of those kind of New York area day
yeah,
festivals. I used to go to Gov Ball for a few years in a row.
nice.
Had great times there. But yeah, the two main stages on the beach are fantastic. Um, for the most part, it's only during Dave Matthews and the Lumineers was it truly unbelievably packed.
Oh sure, yeah.
I'd say not very pleasant, but other than that, they had the main stage, and then on the other end of the beach, it was
Like a
the other
smaller
like
stage, yeah.
a bit smaller, and but they had like great. They had still had big acts play there. St. Paul played there. Um, the Dropkick Murphys played there.
Oh nice. Wow. Okay.
You got to see some of these bands on a smaller stage. Uh, so yeah, while you're looking at the beautiful sunset on the beach, so that's not too bad.
There you go. Can't picture a better way to end a concert is with a sunset and a band playing on the beach. That's awesome.
Mhm.
But the next question is one of the bigger ones. Who are you guys influenced by? I guess more specifically you, since you can't answer for everybody else.
We try to play. We play a lot of like kind of fusion of funk and alt rock, and we have the saxophone and our drummer. I could speak for him. He's very influenced by a lot of um, classic to modern funk everywhere from Lettuce to, well, actually he even likes some proggy stuff. Porcupine Tree, a little
Oh,
bit of
nice.
Tool.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
every drummer loves Tool. Um, but as far as myself, I do a lot of songwriting, and for that, I'm very influenced. It kind of changes all the time, but honestly, yeah. Recently, that band Black Pumas that I told you about, I've been very
Nice.
influenced. They have a very unique soul, um, a bit retro, but still with some modern sensibilities and just great harmonies, great. just a great time. Bands like that. I've been really vibing with Michael Kiwanuka. He just put out an album, and all of his previous albums. Also, I've just been really appreciating the songwriting and um, some of his influences as well. So there's two names right there:
There we go.
Michael Kiwanuka and Black Pumas.
Nice, nice. I feel like for myself, like I was listening, I try to do my research and like listen to the bands before I like come on, and for me, it was like I kind of have like a general knowledge of like more funky, more like indie-ish alternative stuff. But I know I haven't gone as deep into that sort of stuff, so it's always cool when I have artists on that, especially ones that are like, oh, these are my influences, you should check them out. And then, not only your band, but also like the bands that you're influenced by, I go give a listen. Um, but I thought for myself, I was like, this is really interesting because it's something that primarily I listen to like a lot of like metal and like
Mhm.
more heavier stuff. So I always love when I get like kind of a break per se from that and listen to something a little bit more like I guess like musically different from my tastes and stuff. So was very surprised and very interested to see the rest of your musical collection. I only listened to maybe like a handful of songs, but I think for me it was kind of cool because I could hear some stuff from. I don't know if you're familiar with like Volpec or
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
Scary Pockets, that sort of style of music. I thought it was even like a little bit of like Snarky Puppy, that sort of stuff, like more jazzy, like indie-ish, like funk stuff. Kind of like the amalgamation of all those sorts of genres. That's how I felt when I was like listening to your stuff. Was like something along those lines. Definitely more so like Volpec and that sort of styling of music.
Yeah, I we love all those bands. We really love the musicianship out of Snarky Puppy, Bullpeck, and all that. And I know for a fact that Snarky Puppy is one of Will, our drummer's, favorite bands. So a lot of those drum beats coming straight out of his head. You're
Straight
gonna
into
hear
the drums, yeah.
you're gonna hear those influences, and I love hearing them. And yeah, we love trying to combine that kind of musicianship and kind of the soul from that kind of genre with you know different songwriting like a Jeff Buckley or a
Yeah,
Wilco.
yeah.
I feel like fusing those two genres almost, you have a lot of potential.
Yeah, and there's like a cool kind of variation because you don't sound exactly like Wilco, or you don't sound like Jeff Buckley, or you don't sound exactly like Snarky Puppy. You kind of ride the line between all of those, and it comes out to be pretty unique. So check them out. But the next thing, Paul, keeping it more modern, I guess, who have you been jamming recently? What's on your Spotify? I know we're closing the year out, so we're getting into 2020. So what are some bands that you've been
Oh
jamming?
god. Yeah, I could tell you I just got Spotify actually, switched over from Apple Music, so I've been really
Oh,
taking advantage of these playlists that they give you. um, and some of their just really large collections of like. So I've been listening to a lot of modern psychedelia. Is this playlist?
oh,
I don't.
interesting.
Obviously Krungbin's really been really huge the past year or two. I love listening to them and just hearing the what you can do with just three instruments and
Yeah.
a little bit of singing here and there. Um, listen to Krungbin a lot. I love this. I've been bumping this band. They don't play anymore. Actually, play now as another name called Ruby Empress. They're Swedish,
Okay.
but their old name was. I love their project. If they're listening to this, you guys are great. But their old band Manganus Garden, unbelievable. Just kind of power funk pop.
Oh, okay.
Great rhythms, great build ups and breakdowns. Great, you know, just very melodic and very fun. Um, yeah, but I've been really just putting on Spotify's daily playlist for me, so they have a good profile of my
Very
listening. So
well. I mean, I feel like they get enough analytics from what you listen to, so hopefully they find something that kind of fits in your wheelhouse. But I'll recommend two bands to you that I think you might enjoy, that you may or may not have heard of. One
sure.
you probably may have heard of, Dirty Loops. They're also from Sweden. They
Okay.
are like just like if Justin Bieber was actually a talented artist. I That is no diss to Justin Bieber. I mean, he does his thing, whatever. But they were definitely remind me of like if like pop was like more elevated. So I think you would definitely dig them. And then something that's a little bit more out of the ballpark, but still in that sort of pop vein, um, but also has kind of like that funk, like alternative sort of feel. Is this band called Bent Knee? They are
Okay.
they are very good as well. So shout outs to those bands. Go check them out. But the next question, Paul, is another fun one as well. If you could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Any song.
Any song. Collectively as the band, I mean, I know you're only one person, you can't choose for everybody, but if you say was the most important, which what song do you feel like you guys would do a cover of justice of a cover, basically.
So not maybe not one that we already play.
I mean, you could do one that you already play, but like if you were to add one to the
Mhm.
arsenal, you know.
Yeah, one of our latest releases actually was a cover of a Tom Misch song called "Beautiful Escape." I really think
Nice.
I really think we did a great job on that. But if I'm choosing something new, I'm gonna go with maybe a classic. And I've seen some great covers, and I've always wanted to play just an epic cover of "Shine on Your Crazy Diamond," some classic Pink Floyd.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I could see you guys doing something real magical with that. So, um like that suggestion, and if you guys have any suggestion for Bencoolen, leave them in the comments. Maybe they'll get some inspiration or something. But the next question, Paul, another fun one as well. Favorite food to eat? What is the go-to meal?
Oh, there's so many. It's very hard to choose, but I have to say, especially with the weather right now, a bowl of pho, some Vietnamese, can't go wrong with that. We get that a lot on tour. We try to get a lot of good food when we're out on the road. So
Give them some good recommendations if they go tour your city. You should let them know where some good places to eat. I know. Yeah, I love pho too. There's actually where I moved to recently. There's like a spot like 10 minutes away from my house, so I just go get pho every once in a while to just feed the soul. You know, it's definitely
it
good.
does exactly. It feeds the soul. You know what? I don't have a specific place in DC that I really love, but or for pho
For
specifically. I'll tell you, there's a great bagel place in DC called Call Your
oh
Mother, and I grew up on Long Island, so I'm telling you, it's legit. They're just as good as any place I've had.
oh okay, that's some high praise, especially considering you're from the New York area. I mean, like I feel
Yeah,
like
you know,
that's a stamp of approval there. You know.
really good. Call Your Mother. I'll give them a shout out. They're a couple blocks down from me.
There you go. Well, go sponsor these dudes. Sponsor Bencoolen, guys. With the best bagels you can. But the next question, Paul, if you guys could pick somebody to collaborate with, whether it be a guest vocalist or any like instrumentalist on your next record or producer you'd like to work with, who would it be?
Ooh, well, producer, I could easily tell you that I think Danger Mouse can produce anyone and make a beautiful record. He's done it with so many people, and that would be great. But in terms of just collabing, we've played shows with some really really great bands and musicians, and we haven't always gotten to maybe have them sit in with us or
Sure.
find some time to jam. So I'd love to jam with. He's coming up so fast right now, Marcus King.
There we go. Marcus King. If you're watching this, let's make it happen. Let's let the magics of the internet, man. That's why I always ask this question because you just never know. So go DM him or something. Something however we facilitate it over the internet, make it hopefully happen. But the next question, Paul, You play guitar, you do the vocals, you do a bunch of other instruments, but if there was another one you could master, what would it be?
You know what? I always loved the idea of the drums. Uh, I learned piano first, so a lot of people say that's a percussion instrument.
Yep.
So um, I've always been drumming on every desk and pot and pan in my life. So maybe one day I'll, have my house. I'll finally be able to just wail on a drum set. But up until now, I haven't been able to do that.
I feel that because, as you can tell, I don't know, I have a guitar here, and
Mhm.
I also play guitar, and I love playing the drums, but I have no hand-feet coordination. So it is just like me, like if I'm like at one of my friends' house and they're like obviously a drummer, like I cannot. They're like, dude, your beats are so bad, like you can't.
You got to work
So
on the fundamentals, on the rudiments.
I know the rudiments. I'm not good at those either. So I just stick to air drumming in my car when
Mhm.
the music's just cranked and everybody thinks you're having maybe like a seizure or something in your car, but in actuality it's me just air drumming and just freaking out. But my next question, Paul, I'm gonna preface this with I don't know how much of a video game player you are, but if there was a video game character you could be, who would you choose?
Three of us actually are really, really into playing some games here and
Ooh,
here and there.
there we go. I picked the right question then.
Character. That's tough. I might have to think about that for a second. Any character of all of video games. You know what? I just remembered the show's coming out. I'm gonna say Geralt
Oh,
of
from The
Rivia
Witcher.
because yeah, Henry Cavill looks great as him, and apparently he's a big fan. So I'm looking forward to that show, and I'd love to be Geralt myself. So
There you go. Well, that is quite the topical answer, and also a good one as well. So I'm always hesitant about asking that question because it's like some people are like real gamers, and some people are like,
hey,
I'm
if
a
you
casual gamer.
want, you could just say Mario.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Or you can say my personal favorite, which is Pokemon. I
Yeah,
love that. I feel like people resonate with that, or like Sonic or something.
yeah, because it's like what's your spirit animal? What's your spirit Pokemon?
There you go. That's it. I mean, I feel like if you're asking me that question, oh man, I'm gonna have to rock with. Ooh, I'm gonna say Lugia, cause that is the OG. That's the first Pokemon game I ever played. So
Silver.
I got Silver. Silver was the first one. So that is 93, baby. I'm gonna all of you people who can do math, you can look up that's how old I am, because I'm not going to tell you how old I am. But my next question, Paul, getting back to the music stuff, if you could compile a dream tour, who would be on the lineup? Obviously, I would be remiss to say that your band is also on this lineup.
All right, we'll assume we're opening.
Oh, you could headline, dude. You could do it
Headline.
whatever you want. That's the beauty of a dream tour.
Dream tour. I would love to see something that I noticed at the See Here Now festival. That when I was standing at the small stage one day, right in a row, they had Marcus King, then they had St. Paul and the Broken Bones, and I was like, wow, love just seeing this soul rock one after the other. So I'm gonna have St. Paul on my tour. Then I'm gonna go to Alan Stone. You know him?
Oh, yeah,
Out of
he's great.
Seattle. Another great soul singer. A big influence. One of the first one of the first shows I saw too, and back a few years ago. And who else can I throw in there? There's the band Lake Street Dive.
Oh, yes, Lake
Another
Street Dive.
great.
They're great.
I think that would be a really cohesive group, and they'd definitely draw a few. They'd sell a few tickets, and I'd love to see each of them in a row.
Just a few, only a few.
Few tickets.
Well, don't tell them they'll only sell a few because I feel like it would just be just a slight bit more than a few. But we'll have to Twitter DM all of these people to get this happening in 2021. I guess I feel like that's feasible. We give you like almost 2 years. You could do it. We can do it.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
I think only Elton John's booking that far out.
Yeah, that's true. But that's if he ever retires, which I mean, realistically, he probably won't. It'll
Hmm.
be his final tour for like the next 5 years. So go see Elton John in 2049. But the next question, Paul, kind of to follow up the Dream Tour lineup. In your opinion, who puts on a great live performance?
Great live performance. You know what? I'll tell you. I was just listening to this band. It's only two people, and they play like very somber, sad, serious music, but they're just so captivating, and they can draw you in with just beautiful harmonies and one
Sure.
guitar.
Yeah.
They're called Penny and Sparrow.
Penny and Sparrow. Okay.
Yeah, I highly recommend you see them, but also just put on a pair of headphones and they got a great audio tree session.
Would you say that they are a better live band? Like, are they like? Because there's certain bands that I can say that I necessarily wasn't a fan of at first, but I had seen them live beforehand, and it just like drew me in, like as like a listener, and I was just like, I love this band now just because I've seen them live, and I haven't listened to the music like through like a CD or a vinyl or whatever.
Hmm. You know what? The first time I saw them was live. They were opening up for the band Delta Ray.
Okay,
Uh,
nice.
it was kind of like a Delta Ray kind of acoustic unplugged set.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it was actually at another great venue in DC called the Hamilton. That's one of our favorites. I forgot to mention that one. Great dinner venue slash music venue. Um, so they opened up, and so I guess I didn't get the experience of listening to them and then seeing them, so I can't tell you that. But I'll tell you that I think their music's better live. Just in if you could get a room where everyone's, we play very lively
Yeah.
music, so if we ever try to throw a ballad or an acoustic song in there, our audience is usually louder than us playing. So try to do that. We try to keep it very high energy. But this band, their crowd is just completely silent and captivated, and you could hear the silence in between, when they breathe and when the guitar chord fades out. Like that's not something you hear when you hear a
Yeah.
live big band mic'd up guitar amps and everything. You don't hear that. So I think it's really fantastic, and there's something special about it.
I think that shows the power of how people perceive that type of music and stuff. Like, I wasn't asking it in the sense of like,
Hmm.
like listening to the record. I was saying like your first experience of it was just seeing them live and being like, yeah, this is a band I can get into just for that reason. And those are probably some of the best bands you can come around seeing where like it could be just dead silent and you could hear like the smallest pin drop and it still would be like such a like life-changing experience. So I'll have to go give them a listen, but I think I might not, just in the case that I should see them live and then have the same experience because that sounds wonderful. uh but the next thing, Paul, another fun one as well. Favorite TV show, favorite movie.
TV show and movie. That's TV. It's really hard. I watch a lot of great shows, and it changes here and there. Um, I would have said Game of Thrones if the last season ended well, but I think I got to give it to just the most perfect show, in my opinion, Breaking Bad. But I
I would
do love
agree.
right now. I'm loving The Expanse. I haven't started the new season, but I
Oh,
really love that
nice.
show. So that's also a candidate. But I think you gotta finish your run and have it be very good from beginning to end in order to be like the best to me. So that's for show. Favorite movie. Same thing. I got so many, but I'll just go with one that I always come back to. Kind of what really got me into watching movies and just appreciating them, appreciating acting and dialogue and
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
putting a movie together. Donnie Darko.
Ooh, that's a classic right there, I think.
And the first like cult classic where I was really like, wow, movies can do this for me.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent film. So if you guys haven't watched any of what Paul has recommended to you guys, especially Breaking Bad and Donnie Darko. Go watch those and let them know what you think about it. But the next question, Paul, if you're trapped on a desert island and there was one record you could bring with you for the next month, because I'm a nice guy, I feel like a year would be a little bit rough. A month, I feel like that's feasible. What would your record be?
My desert island record.
For a month.
Do I have the platter and I
You
get to
have
play?
you have everything that you would need to play the record with,
All right.
except for the thing that would save you from getting off the island. It's like a vacation. Let's just say that, because I feel like people just think it's like you're in the woods and like Bear Grylls is doing his like TV show in like the background or something, you know?
Yeah, okay. All right. My desert island record. I'd have to go with a double album because
Ooh, okay,
you get
okay.
more time out of it, and there are plenty of
Sure.
great double albums out there. Um, I'm gonna go with Plastic Beach, Gorillaz.
Ooh, that's a fantastic throwback. I like that one.
That's my personal favorite Gorillaz album. Not obviously not everyone's, but I love it.
There we go. Awesome. And then the last thing, Paul, the most important thing, tell them about Bencoolen, where they can find you at on the social media and anything coming up in 2020.
Sure, we're Bencoolen. We're from DC. Actually, this didn't come up at all in the interview, but recently we decided to stop playing. Uh,
Oh, no.
but we have a lot of music still coming out, and we have a big New Year's Eve show as kind of our send off. And I know all of us are going to continue making a lot of music, but it's hard to keep things going forever. And as long as the music keeps on going, it's okay.
There we
We're gonna,
go. That was like a slightly less depressing.
I
That.
thought you were. I thought you were gonna bring. I thought you were gonna ask a question that could lead to it. You only asked me nice, fun questions to
um,
answer.
I didn't want to listen. I'm trying not to bring the mood down, Paul. At least it's at the end and it's not at the beginning, because we could have just set this thing off on like on its like Viking ending. We like put Ben Cooling in like one of those boats and we just send it out into the lake and we light it on fire.
A Viking funeral. Yeah,
Viking funeral.
that'd be that. Maybe that's something that we can do and make a video about it.
Well,
Yeah, we decided that 2020 we wouldn't be playing, but we finished recording an album recently, and we're all really happy for those and excited about those songs. So I know that we're gonna release it, and I'm excited about that. And who knows what the future will bring.
well, hopefully you should still check out Ben Coolen anyway, even if that was, we took a sad turn, but I'm here to take that 180 and we're taking it back to Happyville. But go check out Ben Coolen, even if they may not be doing any touring or shows currently. Go check their music out, because that lives forever. So you can go.
I'm gonna keep it up. I'm gonna make sure to pay the hosting fees. So
There you go. Well, you can go hopefully put some money into Paul and Ben Coolen's pockets so that they can still afford to keep it on the internet. But you should check the links in the description to find out about their music. Obviously no touring, but it's okay. We're gonna push that under the rug and we're just gonna let it go.
hey, you know what? I'm hoping that we'll have five. We'll each be in another band, so you'll have 5 times as much music to listen to.
There
in
you
the next.
go. And then I'll just put text right here where all 5 of, hopefully at this point they will all be in 5, maybe in the same band or separate bands, but some smattering of people in bands will be there. But go check out his Ben Coolen stuff, and if you enjoyed this interview, share it, like it, subscribe. It goes a long way. And shouts to Mike. Thank you, my dude, for helping me get this set up. And we didn't want to send it off on a depressing note, but it's okay. But still go check out Ben Coolen.
Thanks so much, man.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.